Good day to ya. Coming with you triple lot again, stories of Adram and the first times. We left off last time with Cain and the agreements. Cain getting ready, doing his sacrifice, and having the trouble of walking through that sacrifice. And the problem was that he started making agreements right during the middle of this sacrifice that were testimonies against God or against himself, but he believed them. And he believed that God was angry at him. And God was not. The story is very clear. It unfolds very clearly. But he also believed that Abel's sacrifice was better than his. There's a difference, but God was, and God is happier in the sense of it tells the story of blood being sacrificed and the covering of sin. And so it sets up another story. But grain sacrifices and the sacrifice of our own hearts, they are acceptable. And Cain would have been accepted. But he got lost in that because he agreed that Abel's was better. And so there was another, he made him another agreement that wasn't true. And there was even another agreement that that God was somehow favoring Abel. And that was not true. But Cain still believed it. And so those are the agreements that Cain made. And they ultimately pushed him with the ushering in of the enemy's attacks on him and his mind, but it pushed him in fear to murder Abel. And so that's what happens with agreements, is they set us up to fail, to set us up to act on things that are not true and torture or traumatize us and traumatize other people. So, I testify to this. I mean, check your own heart, check your own lives. But for me, it was very destructive that when I was a young boy, I had felt abandoned. And I agreed with it. And for years, for nearly 40 years or so, it would just come through and it would take, precedence in my life. But that's where, recently I have said no to that. I've recognized the truth. I was never abandoned. And it has set me free. It has set my children free, my wife free, in the sense of I no longer act out of that lie of being abandoned. So I just want to give that to you. Check your own hearts, check your own lives, and see where you maybe have made agreements that were not true agreements. They were based upon a lie, but because you didn't check it and you didn't ask, you don't know. So I would just say press into that, see if anything comes to you, be blessed. Talk to you next time. We'll finish up the agreements issues with Cain and ourselves. And, we'll see you then.